Thanks for staying with us on the Late Night News. On to some national news now. With missed deadlines and almost daily allegations of corruption, the Prime Minister today cracked down on the Suresh Kalmadi-led organising committee of the Commonwealth Games. Not only will there be an exemplary punishment for those found guilty of punishment, the effective decision makers will now be a group of ministers, and a final call on any issue will be made by the Finance Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. The Prime Minister, who was critical of the state of preparedness, has been invited by the Sports Minister, M.S. Gill, to personally inspect game venues. Earlier today, the Congress President Sonia Gandhi also met with Delhi's Chief Minister, Ms. Sheila Dixit, to discuss the Commonwealth Games controversy.
A nervous Suresh Kalmadi, a worried Chief Minister of Delhi. At 7 Racecourse Road, all those responsible for the games, and the only one smiling was Dr. Singh. A high-level meeting called by the Prime Minister to set right all that is wrong with the Commonwealth Games. At the end of the almost 2-hour meeting, it was clear the government had decided to take firm steps. In what's seen as a clear snub to the Commonwealth Organising Committee and its chairman Suresh Kalmadi, the Prime Minister said there had been deficiencies in some works and slippages in the time schedules of some of the construction. He also said that in the run-up to the Games, it was important to gain public confidence by instilling order and carrying out effective supervision of the preparation works. Clearly, the government feels it is time to replace those in charge. So the Prime Minister directed the group of ministers headed by Jayapal Reddy to meet immediately and frequently. The group is empowered to take all decisions related to the Games and is to refer any matter that may require more to the Finance Minister for a final decision. The Cabinet Secretary will now liaise closely with the group of ministers, and the Committee of Secretaries headed by him will have jurisdiction over the Organising Committee. It was also made clear that the government will appoint additional senior and experienced officers to Suresh Kalmadi's Organising Committee whenever required. But perhaps the need of the hour was to tackle the biggest talking about the Games, allegations of corruption. The Prime Minister ordered all concerned ministries to conduct a thorough investigation into all complaints, procedural and other irregularities. He said that those found guilty should face severe and exemplary punishment.
There is no pressure from anybody. We are moving on with the Games.
The Prime Minister has also asked that the Cabinet be briefed on the state of preparedness every week. Also, the people have a right to know, and the group of ministers will have to ensure that timely, authentic information is released to the public on the state of preparedness, especially about the pending projects. On his part, Suresh Kalmadi said he was up to the task, but recent controversies have completely demoralized his officials, and at this stage, he needs support from the government.
But it's not all talk. The Prime Minister has decided that he will personally visit some Commonwealth Games venues in the last week of August to see the progress for himself. So is this the end of Chairman Kalmadi? Will the 2010 Commonwealth be his last Games? Or is there a second coming for the man who has ruled over the Indian Olympic Association for over 14 years? With Sandeep Phukan, Amitabh Revi, NDTV.
Well, hoping that there will be some change once that probe is done. Now into new news from the world of sports. There's bad news for Team India in Dambula, miffed with the practice pitch at the Rangini Dambula Stadium. A furious Indian skipper MS Dhoni walked out of a practice session after Dinesh Karthik injured his hand due to the uneven bounce of the track. The 3-hour training session ahead of India's second Tri-Series clash against Sri Lanka on the 16th of August witnessed some drama after Karthik was rendered a doubtful starter for the match due to the hand injury he picked up while the practice session. Now, at one point or another, we all have seen reality shows and have quite a lot to say about them. But have you ever heard a reality show? Well, NDTV Hindu gets you a sneak peek into India's first reality show on radio, only on Chennai Live 104.8.
Chennai Live 104.8 calls on all electric guitarists, drummers and croakers to match. Now don't go thinking it's for a Woodstock, but something special for the city. A reality show on radio, Band Hunt.
Well, it's a reality show. It's the first time it's being done on radio, and it's just to look for the best band that is there. We're starting with Chennai. It's going to be very entertaining because there's going to be a lot more connect with the city, because you're going to have your own bands performing there, people you know, and a lot of new numbers, because these are not covers that we're doing. These are all original numbers.
Chennai boasts of a raging rock and metal scene, and that's exactly what this first of its kind show proposes to tap. Band Hunt is no doubt in tune with the channel's motto of connecting in every way to the city.
Radio station in the country to do the talk format. We have, for example, if you look at the morning program, we have the Big Battle with Sanjay Pinto on it. You know, that kind of brings about questioning what is happening in the city, bringing out more information about the city. People have the right to know, the people, for the listeners and the rest of the city to actually connect on various ways.
As it celebrates its second anniversary, Chennai Live 104.8 has in tow a host of maverick initiatives and projects in the pipeline, which will hit the city in the next few months. But for now, get ready for a rock fiesta, the Chennai way, on the airwaves. In Chennai with Ashmit Kumar, Nithila, NDTV Hindu.
Well, apart from the big band getting selected, there's just 8 more days to go for the Big Bang, the Madras Day celebrations in our city. The NDTV Hindu family has been bringing you slices every day of our city that was once Madras. Now, an interesting slice of the city's history lies in a lane called Triplicane, where old modified bungalows, better known as mansions, provide cheap accommodation to bachelors. Our executive editor Sanjay Pinto paid a visit to some of these mansions.
Couples excuse. These Madras mansions are exclusively for bachelors. For almost half a century, such narrow lanes in Triplicane in central Chennai have been home to thousands of single men. Well, they say if you're a bachelor and land in Chennai, then your life isn't quite complete without staying in many of these mansions in Triplicane. They are basically old bungalows that have been remodeled to accommodate bachelors, usually for long periods of time, about several months. This is one of the oldest mansions in Chennai, started in 1962 by a landlord and today managed by his grandson.
People prefer mansions because it is economically viable and safe. Bachelors find it very difficult to find a rental house, so they opt for mansions.
Economically viable means a monthly rent for as little as 900 rupees for a room of this size, that too on a twin sharing basis. Food usually from a nearby mess or canteen also comes cheap, something that attracts many youngsters like this group of MBA students who've been staying here for a few months.
We came from different places but got together in the college, and we found a common mansion where we can study together, then find out more about Chennai, know about Chennai people, culture, and Triplicane is a very old place.
The Madras mansion culture has even been captured in Tamil films. This movie Kadal portrays the ups and downs of life in a mansion.
I was a bachelor. I was staying in mansion in my early period. When I was assistant director, I was staying in the same mansion, same room. I shot it.
And don't forget the hundreds of foreigners who flock to the streets of Triplicane for bed and breakfast. Many are so taken up by the peace and quiet here that they keep coming back. As for this tourist from Sydney, the architecture is picture perfect for his exhibitions down under. With camera person Sagai Raj and Arasu in Chennai, Sanjay Pinto, NDTV.
Well, quite a hub for many and a distinct landmark in the city as well. Now, like we promised, here's what you have been waiting for, the first look at the superstars Robo. The audio launch of Endiran's Hindi version took place in Mumbai today and was well attended by many of Bollywood's celebrities.
Enjoy.
निकला रे बिजली की तारों में तू उलझी है सपने से
that the release is all that we are looking for. That's the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.